change what's been done. It's too late to change what's been done.
Oh shit, we're back in action, folks. How about that? How about them apples? How you like that? Feels really good to be back. It's been a long time since I streamed, even. I think the last time I did it was it January of 2013? No, 2013, Jesus, 2023. So it's been a year. It's been over a fucking year since I went live. But I'm back. In black. On crack. With Jack Black. And I feel fantastic. I actually feel pretty good today. Well, aside from the fact that it's really fucking hot outside, this is not grease. This is hair shit. This is sweat, just so you know. But yeah, I just got back from the grocery store and shit. Who cares? Who cares about that? But, I guess I'll give a little bit of an update on my life before we dive right into it. Why do you always look 16? Because I have found the fountain of youth, and it is my semen. So, I should probably explain why I've been absent for such a long time. So basically, people urged me to get a job, and I did. I've been employed for, 14 months, I believe? Something like that, maybe 15. And I like my job. I'm a postal worker now, so that's what I do. And I thought, hey, now that I'm finally getting my life all organized, and I feel generally pretty good. We all have bad days, of course. I'm not, all sunshine and raises or whatever, but, for the most part, I feel okay. Considering that, I thought, why not revive this YouTube thing? And I thought about it for a while. I'm like, how should I go about this? Should I make, an announcement video, just explaining all this shit, or should I just tell people individually, or how should I go about this? And I think, the best way to do this is to just continue putting out content that I actually feel passionate about. Hence the last video that I did, which was, it was almost 50 fucking minutes long. I think it was 45-minute long video. A beast of a video to make, and I actually began making that video around the time that I got employed. And then following that, recently, I'm like, I should probably wrap this up and put it out there. I have something out there that people can look at. And I do have another huge video in the making right now that I'm writing. I don't want to give away any details. I can't even, give any hints, because if I do, I'll just spoil it. But it's gonna be one fucking hell of a video. I can promise you that. But yeah, hopefully you're all well. I don't mean to sit here and, drone on about myself for all time, but, I feel like it behooves me to explain a little bit to people who follow me that, here's what I'm up to, here's what I've been doing, here's how my life is going, and generally speaking, it's going pretty well. So I feel good about that. Today we're going to be having a look at some bad GTA 6 takes. Now, a while back, I made a tweet asking people to make suggestions, okay, give me some bad takes and I'll respond to them in a video. And I thought about it for a while, and I came to the conclusion that it would actually be better if I did that in a live format, as opposed to a heavily edited video, although that could be fun. It's not something that I feel really suits the topic itself as good as, doing it live. Have I lost eloquence? I feel like I'm just, repeating myself. I guess I am a little bit nervous. I am, because I haven't been streaming for a fucking huge amount of time. So now that I'm finally back, I'm just kind of stretching my wings. I'm ready to fucking fly at any moment, but before I do, I have to make sure that I don't fucking crash. So hopefully you'll bear with me. Kind of de-rusting a little bit. I guess a few people in the chat wanted to know the name of the song that I played in the beginning. It's Cry to Yourself by Chester Bennington and DJ Lethal. You can find it on YouTube, I think. It is not copyrighted because... I guess it's a bit of a tangent, but I'll summarize what happened. So, DJ Lethal paid Chester Bennington $10,000 to do vocals on this track, and then Chester's fucking label refused to let DJ Lethal release it, and it just didn't go anywhere. So the song leaked eventually, and which is why, you know, I played it as an intro because it doesn't have any copyright attached to it. So I guess that's one benefit of all of that going to total shit for Lethal and Chester, but, you know, we'll see how it all pans out in the end. Maybe someday they'll officially release it and I'll get my fucking stream copyright struck. Who knows? Hello, Gilbert. Well, your nose is still clean. Yeah, I do keep it clean. What was it? She was a fast machine. She kept the modem clean. She was the best damn woman that I ever seen. Yeah. Yeah, Linkin Park. My father is here, Swag. Okay, well, I'm gonna be on my best behavior then. I don't want to upset somebody's dad. I feel like I'll get my ass kicked. They'll be like, yo, no son of mine is gonna watch this fucking humbug. No way, Jose. Hello, Saul Goodman. So, we have not a whole lot to cover. I have like 7 tabs. Like I said, these were all the things that people sent to me on Twitter. So, we'll see how long this lasts. I might just stick around and talk to people for a little bit once we're done. We'll see. Yeah, I'm not going to piss off somebody's dad. I'm not going to do that. The last thing you want to do in life is piss off somebody's parent. Especially if you're just, like, a bad influence. I guess, like, I should probably try to be a good influence on people. But in the end, it doesn't even matter. So let's see. How are you liking Eurovision? I don't watch it. My old roommate used to watch that shit constantly. And he would, you know, on the TV in the living room, he would play YouTube videos of, like, songs that I had heard a million fucking times on the radio, on TV. I'd seen clips of them online, on TV when Eurovision was being broadcast. And it's not for me. It's not my cup of tea. And the thing that kind of annoyed me a little bit is, like, all the meme songs, especially. What are you drinking? It's, Wolverine. Because I'm fucking 12 and I need to be marketed to as such, I guess. Yeah. It's like a cheaper kind of brand. It's like a Monster Energy knockoff, Red Bull knockoff thing. I mean, nothing against people who watch and like Eurovision. I'm not gonna shit on those people, but me personally, I can't stand it. I have no interest in it. All the music just sounds like ass to me, and yeah. Let's see. Ads will run shortly for some viewers, says YouTube. Okay then. I guess YouTube is like, he's just rambling about fucking Eurovision. Play some ads. So, out of my control. Well, I guess it's not out of my control, but I'm not going to fiddle fuck with it right now. So I'll leave it. I'll make a little bit of cash from that, I guess. I don't know how much I'll make from it, but we'll see. You look 12 anyway. Yeah, sure. Here's a fun fact about me. I'm actually 27, and I'm pushing 28 now. So, yeah. I feel okay, though. I mean, like, isn't it better to look younger than you are than to look way older than you are? I mean, just conventionally speaking, like, by most people's standards. Is coming back to YouTube a one-time thing? No, not really. I mean, I'll make half a cent, yeah. Here's the ad now. Those of you using AdBlock watching this, how fucking
Money
dare
never
you?
hurts.
Hey, thank you, PM Conspiracy, for the $3. Matiziaho. I'm glad somebody remembers that meme. That was wild. I think I still have... I want to play it. There's like a live performance of Infected Mushroom and Matiziaho doing like a live collab on on some show in Israel, and they play the song Artillery, which, by the way, the song Artillery by Infected Mushroom fucking kicks ass. Check it out. But they played it live, and I have this video on my second channel where, like, I don't know, you'll have to look for it. It's called, like, Matiziaho or something. You'll find it. If you know the meme, I think you'll enjoy it. But yeah, for those of you unaware, that's an Insanity Edition reference. Kind of surprised somebody remember that. But yeah, thank you, Conspiracy. Perfect timing. Hey, Colin, what's up? You got jump scared? Maybe I should turn down the volume on that. I don't know. But yeah, as the little annoying notification thing says, donations are read on stream and appreciated. So if you want to interject and be like, hey, here's my fucking opinion, the best way to have your opinion heard, given that we live under capitalism, is via capital. So, chuck a donation and put your thoughts out there, and I'll read them live. Bully speedrun on Saturday, not this Saturday. Actually, you know what? I do have this Saturday off. I'll think about it. Actually, that's a good idea. I'm going to think about that. Normally, I don't have Saturdays off. I work extra sometimes. But this Saturday, yeah, perhaps. We'll see. I'll see if I can get it set up. I actually do have, I had a speedrun layout that I made, but then I looked at it and I was like, this doesn't cut the mustard. I'm fucking erase all this shit, start fresh, make a new layout. So I'm gonna have to make a layout and fucking do all that shit, prepare, see if I can get all the software that I need set up again, because it's been a while, and considering like how long it's been, I'm assuming that there's gonna be a million technical fucking difficulties that I need to sort out, but we'll see. Let us see what the chat says. Insanity Edition finale. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I am kind of like hesitant on that because initially I made a promise to the person who made Insanity Edition, like the mod, to not make a finale until the mod was finished. But that person now fucking hates me, so I mean, I don't know if they're even gonna finish the mod. I mean, like it's been, I think the last update they made for Insanity Edition was like 8 years ago or something. So you look good. Oh, thank you. Oh, Mr. Cartman, you're trying to seduce me. Let's see, Bully Speedrun Insanity Edition. I'd like to do that, but it's so unstable and prone to crashing that I don't know if I could even possibly do that. Wait, for real? Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, why do they hate you? I don't know if I should get into that, because it is personal business, and if they haven't made anything public yet, I don't know if it's justifiable for me to do that. I don't know. I'm just gonna say, like, we had a falling out. I made attempts at, like, salvaging the friendship, and it just didn't happen. It's just one of those things that happens. It sucks. It fucking hurt, because this is somebody that I've known since, like, 2013. So that's painful, but at a certain point, you do have to move on. I mean, you can't, like, dwell on that ad infinitum. What happened? I'm not gonna get into it. Not get into it? I'm sorry, but, like, this whole, like, no, do it thing, I'm not falling for it. It wouldn't be cool for me to, like, spill the beans about that. Or I guess, like, the modern term would be spill the tea. Sorry to hear that. Hey, thank you, Seal. I've also had a couple more falling outs. Well, not falling outs, but, like, I've just grown distant with 2 other friends as well. So, like, 3 friendships gone in a fucking year. I mean, that does not feel good. But fortunately, I am still in touch with most of the people that I'm friends with, so...
Free money!
Jesus, that is kind of loud. Jesus. Here we woo. Thank you for the $3. How much wood would... I usually say, how much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chop wood? Normally I can do that one. Hold on, let me try again. You said, how much wood could a woodchuck... Wait, no, you fucked this up. You wrote it the wrong way. You wrote it, how much wood could a woodchuck if a woodchuck could chop... You're missing a few words there, I think. But thank you nonetheless for the $3. Free money. Should I replace the notification sounds for donations or, like, disable them? How do you guys feel about that? Because, like, I like them. I think they're kind of charming. I feel like they add a little bit of fun to it, but if you don't like them, I'll remove them. I can probably replace them with something else, something less distracting if you don't like them, but we'll see. La-dee-dee, la-dee-da, la-la-da-da. Okay. Jimmy voice, yeah. Can you continue your destroying series? I suppose I could. I'm not opposed to it. I did have a destroying video in the making. I thought about doing one on myself as well, like destroying SWEGTA, where like I rip apart stuff that I've said and done in the past that I no longer stand by, just as kind of like as a fun way to own up to all of it and be like, okay, you know, I'm not an exception to all of this. Let's see, I got a super chat from David Burko. Let's see. Do you think Rockstar will do a sequel or new IP after GTA 6? Let me think about that for a second. Oh, but let's celebrate their first super chat on a live stream. What happens if I click that? What does that do? Okay, nothing. It just brings up a bunch of options for me to like. Okay, I thought that was like a button for me to press and like it would display confetti or some shit, but no. It's like, let's celebrate. And then you click it, and it's like, oh, ban user. I'm like, no, don't do that. Do I think Rockstar will do a sequel or a new IP after GTA 6? I don't think it's going to be a new IP. They have way too many previous titles that people are super adamant about them making sequels to.
Better spend this.
You think R will do a sequel or new IP after Vi?
I don't know why there's a text-to-speech. That actually kind of scared the fuck out of me. Jesus. You know, for a second, like, I thought that was, like, somebody, like, next to me or some shit. I guess super chats are voiced for some reason. I'm gonna have to look into that. Not a big fan of the text-to-speech, but I am a big fan of super chats, so thank you. Honestly, I think they're gonna make a sequel. I had to think about it for a minute, but really, I mean, considering, like, the demand for all the previous games they have, even like Midnight Club and Manhunt, like people want more of these classic titles. And it's because it's been so fucking long since we had anything outside of GTA or Red Dead. So, it makes sense. Me personally, and this is just me, I'm just crazy like this, but I'd like to see either Bully 2 or a new game. I'd like to see them attempt something totally different and just see where it goes. Preferably, I'd like to see them take another jab at making a horror game. That would be my preference. But the thing that I want the most is Bully 2. So let's see. I think there's a... Oh, yeah, okay. I think I know what's going on. So there's like a delay between each super chat being shown so that, you know, we don't have like a million being shown simultaneously. So if you send a super chat and it doesn't show up immediately, wait a minute. It'll show up eventually. Let's see. I make wait, what is it? I make people laugh with no purpose. I think you mean purpose. But yeah, maybe
Free money.
Maybe you lack a purpose. Who knows? Did it? Okay, it's not reading that one. What are your thoughts on GTA 6? Do you think they waited too long or just long enough? I think it's long enough, actually. They could have done it way sooner, but you have to think about it this way, like, the longer they wait, the bigger the hype, which is a double-edged sword, because if they wait too long and they, you know, release a game and it doesn't live up to how long people waited, then the game is going to suffer in, you know, critical reception, or at least fan reception,
Cash will help.
But yeah, somebody mentioned Ninja. Sorry, I'm trying to like catch up with all these, so just give me a minute. I'll get through all of them. I'm gonna respond to all of them. Fret not. I'm not gonna neglect any of these. Did that one? I believe I responded to that one. No, but I think they waited just right. And you have to keep this in mind. Rockstar Games have
cash.
They have a marketing team.
Good to see you again. I remember the early days when you had the black nails and the emo look. Remember Nina lol?
I do. Thank you for reminding me of Nina. Oh, dude, it's actually kind of funny. I had a conversation with somebody who they said something in English to somebody else, and they also said, you know, that is not the pronunciation. I should fucking know. I've lived through hell because of a mispronunciation of that word. But I didn't say anything. I just kind of like, you know, grinned and was like, yes, niñas. Very interesting. Oh, God damn it. Am I disconnected? Am I still live? I think I'm still live. I should be okay. Do you have a third channel called SWEGTA 3? I think at some point I did make a third channel, but I never used it for much. I think I just did a couple shit posts, if I even had one. I can't really recall. Thank you though, PM Conspiracy. Plague Bunny. Okay, I responded to that. And by the way, like the whole nail thing, I am considering bringing that back, you know, just like in defiance of the people who give me shit for it, because honestly, it feels kind of good. It's like a lack of a fuck to give, but at the same time, if I do it in defiance, I am giving a fuck. So it kind of defeats the point then. So I have to get into this like Goldilocks zone where I don't care, but at the same time, I get pleasure from not caring when it pisses people off. Difficult to do. Really difficult to attain that kind of mindset. But I believe it's possible. With enough effort and training and meditation and masturbation, I should be able to accomplish that. Thank you, Plague Bunny. Which is a pretty fucking cool name. We fell off hard. Dude, everybody falls off at some point. Everybody falls off. What matters is that you dust yourself off and fucking keep going. And maybe at some point, you'll climb back up higher than you've ever been. Who knows? Who fucking knows? The thing is, like, I've been active on YouTube, at least, like, as a viewer since 2006. I've seen hundreds of people come and go. And really, like, the people who stay, who actually... The people who can actually withstand the changing tides, those are the fucking people that I care about. Because those are the people that I remember because I still watch them. But, you know, there have been, like, fucking, probably, like, maybe even, like, around 1,000 people that I've been following, you know, actively or semi-actively on YouTube and various other social media platforms where, you know, I saw them rise to the top and they were, like, fucking huge, and then they fall and plummet. It happens. The thing that I want to do with my fucking channel is not, I don't want to repair what I had. I don't want to, like, you know, bring that back. What I want to do is reinvent myself and reinvent my content, hence the massive fucking video that I dropped out of nowhere. That's what I want to do. And beyond that, what I want to do is appeal to the core audience that I've always had. You know, the people in the chat, the people who keep coming back, the people who know the memes, you know, Matis Yaho, Nina, all that shit, all the dumb little fucking inside jokes we have, because that's what puts a smile on my fucking crooked face. You know, that's the thing that actually brings me warmth in my cold, dead little black heart that I call my anus. You know, that's what I want to do. You know, of course, I know how the YouTube game is played. If I really wanted to, I could churn out a fuck ton of videos and editorialize them such that they, you know, have a higher chance of getting a fuck ton of views. I know how to do that, but I don't care enough to do it because it doesn't bring me any joy. It feels empty. The thing that actually brings me joy and fulfillment is you know, interacting with you right now in this moment. This, to me, is way more fun than, you know, when I was at my peak. Because when I was at my peak, I was day in, day out, constantly.
I know you're Swedish and all, but what do you think about Finland? Ever been?
I'm just going to wrap up this thought. I'm going to have to look into this text-to-speech thing, but thank you, Daryl. I'll respond to your dono in a second. But, God, my train of thought is just like, bring it back, come on. Yeah, interacting with you right now has more meaning to me than chasing trends, because back at my peak, I was constantly looking at numbers day in, day out. I was just like always observing the algorithm, analytics. You know, I was looking at like different, you know, contracts and shit, and like, okay, well, what if I join this network instead of this one, or what if I collab with this person who's hot right now? What if I cover this thing? What if I make this type of video? And you know, it even seeped into the content itself for a while, where it's like, oh, this type of joke I don't find funny, but other people do, so I'm gonna tell it as though, you know, this is my type of sense of humor. And it just felt so fucking fake after a while. And I think it's better to just, like, do what I do now. Play the kind of music that I want to play before I go live. Talk about the shit that I want to talk about. and make the type of videos that I want to make. Isn't that the whole point? That's how it all began. And for all I know, if that's how it ends, cool. You know, I'm fine with that. It's been a hell of a journey, and I think if there's one thing that I've learned from it all, it's that you have to be authentic. And at my peak, I was not being authentic. I'll admit to that. Sorry for getting so fucking, like, weird about it, but I'm just kind of speaking my mind. Did that one. Daryl the Goat gave $4.99 via Super Chat. Thank you. I know you're Swedish and all, but what do you think about Finland? Ever been? I have been to Finland. I've been to Helsinki a few times. You know, usually I took the cruise ship when I was younger, Viking Line or Viking Line. Is that a new Ninja meme? Viking? Sorry, I meant Viking. That is the pronunciation in Swedish, by the way. But yeah, I've been to Helsinki. My deceased grandfather was actually Finnish. For some reason, he always had, like, some shame about it. I never understood why. My dad kind of did as well, at least when it came to his name. My dad actually removed the Finnish middle name that he had because he wanted to fit in more with Swedish culture. Despite being born and raised in Sweden and being, you know, a Swedish citizen, he's like, fuck this name, man. People keep thinking I'm Finnish. It's like, well, you're a descendant of a Finnish person. There's nothing wrong with that. Just own it. But I like Finland. I think the culture is really cool. The music's fucking awesome. And one of the closest friends that I have right now is from Finland. So, yeah, Finland fucking rocks. I've been there, yeah. Thank you, Daryl. Hopefully I satisfied your question. We want Bully 2. Indeed we do. I guess, like, the only way we're gonna get Bully 2 is by voicing that opinion. Here's a fucking crazy thing that happened a few years ago. I think, like, back in 2020 or 2021. Remember when fucking Bully 2 trended on Twitter for no reason at all, outside of the fact that people wanted it? That was fucking wild. You know, I remember when that happened. I looked into it. I was like, has there been, like, some breaking news story that I'm unaware of? Because, you know, usually as soon as, like, anything happens with Bully 2 or Rockstar Games in general, like, even when, like, a tiny little peep happens, I have people who send me details about it so I can, you know, be up to date on it. But I remember looking into it, like, why the fuck is Bully 2 trending on Twitter? What is this? And other people kept asking the same thing. They're like, hey, Swag, what's up with this? And I'm like, I'll look into it. I don't know. And
Money never hurts.
Ultimately, it just became apparent that people made Bully 2 trend because they want it to happen at some point. There were just, like, a fuck ton of people who just happened to, at the same time, post about what they want in Bully 2, or just the fact that they want a Bully sequel. To me, that's fucking wild. Like, you know, this game came out in fucking 2006, and then, you know, we've had some ports and such for you know, years and years now. We've had, what is it, Scholarship Edition and Anniversary Edition, and that's it. You know, and that's better than nothing, but it's not an installment in the series the way I think of it. But that's fucking crazy. Let's see. PM Conspiracy gave an addition. Thank you, by the way, PM, for an additional $1.99. Do you still talk with Winchester GTA? I think he did a great job voicing Pete and Jimmy Goes to School. I fucking forgot about that. Thank you for reminding me. You just gave me, like, a rush of nostalgia. Holy shit. Dude, I remember when fucking I found out that Jerry Rosenthal watched those when I was, I think I made them when I was, like, 14. And he found them kind of funny, but nowadays, I don't know. There's some language used in those videos that I'm not proud of.
Every penny counts.
So, I don't disavow those videos fully because I think they're a product of their time. They're at least, like, a product of the time that I had in my life at that point. But yeah, I mean, like, you know, Winchester GTA and I were actually related. He's one of my brothers. That's how I got him to do the voice acting for it. You know, because I remember he just walked past my room while I was editing a video, and I'm like, hey, do you want to voice this fucking character? He's like, yeah, sure. But he's doing pretty good. I mean, like, I think, I shouldn't say I think, I know for a fact we're fucking related. He's actually a cook now. He's all grown up, and he works in a restaurant. A restaurant, as Gordon Ramsay would say. What is it? Honest, simple, rustic. Yes. But he's well. Thank you for asking. Anonymous gave $3 and said, I love Fred Durst. Fair enough. Fred, is that you? Sorry. It is kind of interesting how, like, Fred Durst went from being one of the most despised people in the music industry to nowadays he's, like, a lovable meme. Like, most people have kind of come around to the fact that, like, okay, well, he's not that bad. And I think he's gone through his own personal evolution where nowadays he's not, you know, as obnoxious or loud or boisterous or, like, aggressive as he was back in the day. But I think even back in the day, people were a bit too hard on him. Hard on. Browsing Reddit while waiting for Sweg to do what he said in the title. I will do it. Hold on, just bear with me. It's a live stream. It's not a YouTube video. You know, this. I'm aiming for like a 60 to 90 minute long stream. Maybe longer, maybe shorter. We'll see. But I don't think there's anything wrong with a little bit of banter, especially since it's been so fucking long since I did anything live. Again, it's been over a year since I've done any broadcasting. Eyeless Crown 7, hey. Nice to see you. You should play... Hold on. I gotta move this fucking thing so I can see what it says. Maybe I could just look at OBS instead. I don't know. Text is a bit too tiny. Does anybody know how to get rid of this little fucking heart thing in the chat? Because, like, I don't dislike it. I like getting the little hearts that, you know, people spam when I go live and stuff, but I don't want it to be displayed in my layout when I'm streaming. But in the chat, it's fine. Do you like results may vary? Oh, by the way, hello, Hunter. Do I like it? Well, results may vary. It depends on the day. You know, Fred Durst himself said that it's one of those albums that, like, you know, every time you listen to it, you're gonna have a different experience or interpretation.
Money never hurts.
I don't think he was wrong about that.
Much love, Sweg. Glad to see you back. Have some dollar.
Thank you. Thank you. And by the way, we're gonna make some fucking hardcore shit. It sounded like porn. I meant music. Thank you, though. It feels good to be back. We gotta do, like, a few stream collabs, I think. I think that would actually be awesome. Do you listen to Nirvana? I do. One of my favorite t-shirts that I have is a red Nirvana t-shirt that I own. One of my favorite pieces of clothing, actually. What are your thoughts on the Manhunt 1 and 2 beta leaks? They're fucking crazy. I do intend on making... should I get into it? I started the sentence, might as well finish it. I do intend on making a video about the Rockstar Vienna catastrophe. I don't know a whole lot about it, but I've read up a little bit on it to the extent that I know about some of the fucked up things that, you know, Take-Two and Rockstar did to that studio. So, but yeah, I mean, like the Vienna cut of Manhunt 2, that's fucking crazy. Not get her, SWEGTA. Again, I meant music. We're gonna make some fucking awesome music. I have a few tunes in the making. I'd like to play some of them here live as a preview, but I'd much prefer to just have them be, like, totally finished, like the Manhunt video I did, and then drop a full album and be like, boom, you know. Can I snap properly? There. Boom. You know, I'll drop it like that. Drop it like it's hot. Instead of, like, giving little sneak previews and shit, because I feel like a lot of the time when I give people too many previews, it kind of, like, demotivates me, because I'm like, well, they've seen most of the shit that I've done. I'm either gonna have to, like, make something totally new or completely change the thing that I'm making now. I know Nathan did a vid on it. Yeah, I think he did, actually, now that you mention it. Maybe I could watch that and get some sources out of it, and I'll mention Nathan at the end of the video and be like, hey, by the way, a lot of the info I got came from Nathan. Check him out. I remain a huge fan of Nathan. I don't agree with everything that he says on Twitter. I think that he's kind of draconian when it comes to, like, legal stuff. I saw him advocating for the UK adopting laws akin to Singapore, and I was just kind of like, I've been to Singapore. Even as a kid, I got the impression that, like, this is a bit too much. I feel like they're a bit too harsh. What is it, like, if you throw gum on the sidewalk, that's, like, taken so fucking seriously. You don't do that. And I'm like, well, it's gum. Like, who gives a fuck? Here's a fucked up fact about Singapore that I found out recently. Well, not recently, but, maybe a year ago. Singapore has one of the highest death penalty rates of any nation ever. Maybe not ever, but, currently existing. So I don't know if me personally, I prefer to prevent crime instead of, like, cracking down on it as hard and harsh as possible. Like, if you don't like crime, here's what you do. You cut it off at the fucking root. You don't attack. It's like if you're sick, you don't attack the symptom, you attack the fucking thing that made you sick in the first place. If you don't like crime, you have to prevent it from happening. It's not enough to just, like, throw a bunch of harsh penalties at it, because guess what? People still do crime. People still do all kinds of insane shit. People still murder, despite the fact that getting caught killing somebody really fucking sucks. People still do these things. So how do you solve it? Well, maybe prevention would be a good idea. Sorry for going off like that, but it just, those kind of takes. That's, like, what I strongly disagree with him on, but as a human being, I think that he's one of the nicest people that I've ever gotten to know, honestly. So, hopefully he's well. Hopefully, life is treating him well, and he's having a blast. But as far as, like, his opinions on legal matters go, I strongly disagree. But, usually we agree. Like, we're both pretty progressive, I think. So we're mostly aligned. Mostly aligned. Thuckatith. Do you listen to Foo Fighters? Occasionally, I have a neighbor who's a massive fucking fan. He's got, like, Foo Fighters tattoo and shit. And I remember kind of, like, mentioning to him casually, I'm like, didn't Foo Fighters in the early 2000s do, like, some AIDS denialism thing? And he's like, no! And I'm like, I can look it up right now. He's like, no! I'm like, oh shit, alright. So I backed up, like, okay, they didn't, never happened. And then I Googled it, and I'm like, it kind of did happen. I think it was, like, the bass player, he, like, bought into this idea that AIDS doesn't exist. No idea why. They played, like, one of those AIDS denialism shows of the early 2000s, which is fucking crazy. But, nowadays, I think, they've snapped out of it. So I'm not going to hold it against them forever. I think, like, people make mistakes, people grow, it's fine. Deftones, I like them. They've got some songs that I like. I think my favorite song of them is Die the Flu, or Bored. No, you know what it is? It's actually one of their lesser-known songs. It's, Like Linus, which I could play, by the way. I could play it in my next stream as, like, a little intro thing. Jesus Christ, my hair is a fucking mess today. I could play it as an intro the next time I go live, because it's an unreleased song, unfortunately. They never officially released it. Garrett the Carrot. I like your name. I got blocked by Franklin Actor on Insta because I said Red Dead Redemption 2 is better than GTA 5. Well, I mean, it kind of is. Like, I'm sorry. I like Solo, but Red Dead Redemption 2 is actually better than GTA 5, in my opinion. Do you like Mudvayne? I like their first album. Was it LD50? Pretty cool. They also have, like, a few good songs on subsequent albums. Like the song Happy. That's pretty good. What else? There's one that I fucking introduced to HP a while ago. Let's see. It's Forget to Remember. That's it. Which is kind of funny how, like, I forgot the name of the song. Okay, people are just asking me about bands now. They're like, get into the topic of the stream. By the way, Swag, how do you feel about Rammstein? It's like, they're good. I don't know. I now understand the full Sheldon experience after finishing Insanity Edition. Now you know my pain. Now you know the suffering that I went through. I suffered for your sins. I was gonna say I died for your sins, but I'm here, so obviously I didn't do that. But I damn near fucking died for your sins. I've seen Mudvayne live. They put on great shows. I'm sure. Because, like, the level of energy they have in the studio, they have to match that live. They just have to. If they don't, they're immediately going to be labeled as, like, one of those letdown bands where you listen to them on, like, Spotify, you go see them live, and you're like, oh, fuck. And then you never see them again. So they have to live up to that, and I respect when bands do that. Taking it back to Limp Bizkit, for instance, I mean, I know some people still don't like them, but if you see them live, even if you fucking hate them, they kill it. I mean, they do. They have, like, a fucking phenomenal set list.
Cash.
SWEGTA, better remember the name.
I know that the text-to-speech made an attempt at singing that. That was kind of cool. But yeah, thank you, Joel. Joel! Father, can I have some money? No. All mine. It's mine. Black History Month or Bully 2. Why not both? ¿Por qué no los dos? That is the funniest playthrough ever. Oh, do you mean Insanity Edition? Insanity Edition. I'm so mushed-mouthed today. I don't know why. Will you ever use your SWEGTA better remember the name intro again? It depends. I do have, okay, so like Marshall Manson made like a remake of that intro, but people kept wanting the old one. They're like, bring back the one that sounds more like The Offspring. And I'm like, okay, I want to, but it's like 10 seconds into the video and already there's a part of it where somebody says, blow your fucking brains. That was part of it. It was like, subscribe now or blow your fucking brains. So I'm like, I don't think I can do that on YouTube these days. But maybe I could track down the dude who did that song and have him change a couple words there and be like, oh, I think, like, was it Marshall Manson changed it to live your life in shame, which also works, but it doesn't have the same, like, gravitas as blow your fucking brains. Do you like Rage Against the Machine? I'm done with these band questions after this, by the way, at least for now, alright? But yes, I do. They're awesome. My personal favorite intro of yours is the Straight F's intro with the Raw theme. Yeah, that was cool. I like that. Destroying YouTube. I feel like YouTube would probably interpret that as a threat. They would just be like, we're taking this video down. I'm like, oh shit. Which I guess that would actually kind of prove my point. If I'm making a video criticizing YouTube for being a fucking, broken website and they take down my video criticizing them, then it's like, well, there you fucking go. Low tier swag. Yes. I'm not as, like, physically fit as he is. Look at this shit. Look at this. Look at all this muscle right there. This soft muscle. Yeah. God damn, I'm fucking pale. Holy shit. Look at that. You can tell I'm Scandinavian by that. Okay, we should probably get into it. We've been doing 47 minutes of a banter, so that's cool. Let's see. Alright, let's do this. This is how we do it. So we're going to be having a look at some bad GTA 6 takes, and I'm going to give shout-outs to every person who sent me these. Not all suggestions have been featured in this little segment because not all of them cut the mustard, not all of them made the final cut, not all of them were suitable, and some of them might get me in deep shit, and a few of them were like, things that people had already sent to me, so it's like, am I going to show the same thing again and again? No. But I do have seven different bad takes we could have a look at. So yeah, I guess I'll do that once YouTube's done showing an ad. In the meantime, I'll take a sip of this energy drink. Yeah. Let's fucking go. Let's do this. We're making a segment happen. For all you know, this could turn out to be a video. It just might. Insert low effort edgy comment for attention for SWEGTA. Insert response and acknowledgement. SWEGTA is back, boy, or bye. Indeed he is. Indubitably, my friend. Yeah, so here's the first one. This one is from IGN. So this is one of those things where, like, they regurgitate what somebody else said, and they're like, you know, we don't know, maybe, question mark, perhaps. It's like, well, what do you think? It's like, oh, we're not going to get into that. It's like, you're fucking IGN, aren't you? Like, you made your website and your fucking company on doing, like, reviews and shit and, like, opining on video games. So what is your take? Well, I guess this is as close as we're ever going to get to IGN actually giving an honest opinion on this shit. But yeah, apparently some people think that Jason from GTA 6 is an undercover cop, and here's why.
That's why people think this GTA 6 character might actually be a cop. We know little to nothing.
Oh, by the way, I want to give thank you to Sugar Shane, which is a pretty fucking cool name, for sending me this. So there you go. So here's why Jason is a cop.
Might actually be a cop. We know little to nothing about this character except that leaks hint at his name potentially being Jason. So what's leading people to think he's actually a man of the law? Let's start with the pants. It's a very notable shade of green and looks very similar to the pants worn by my—
It's a notable shade of green. It's a no, it's like muted. It's a notable shade of green to me would be like if they were just like plain like lime green pants. So I don't know about
Miami
that.
SWAT teams.
No, wait, hold on.
Looks very similar to the pants worn by Miami SWAT teams.
No, they don't. You've even juxtaposed both of them right there. They don't look alike at all. What are you on about?
They even more closely resemble these tactical pants.
No, they don't.
Sold
What?
on UC Apparel, a clothing brand started by Miami-Dade police officers from—
Oh my god, Jesus fucking Christ. Oh, I forgot Florida. How fucked up is it that Florida cops have their own clothing brand? Like, doesn't that tell you something is wrong with the police, or like at least policing in general, when they have their own fucking clothing brand?
For undercover cops that need to be in and out of uniform. Not convinced yet? Jason is also wielding his gun with his left hand, and
So what? Is that a cop thing?
in the brief body cam shot in the trailer, we see that the shooter is also left-handed.
So?
What do you think? Could he be a—
What do I think? I think it's perfectly plausible that there exists more than one left-handed person in the entire fucking state of Florida. So no, I don't buy that argument. I'm sorry, you lose.
cop who's being brought into a life of crime by Lucia, or is he just working undercover? Once
How should I know? The game hasn't even been released yet.
we have that settled, we can move on to the next big question. Is this woman Lucia?
No.
I mean, come on, the moles don't line up, but the eyebrow link does. The ear shape also—
Oh my god, Jesus. That was actually short but really painful. Usually it's like pulling a band-aid, but this was like pulling a dagger out of your fucking ball sack. This was agonizing. I'm left-handed. Does that mean I'm a cop? Yes, it does. I'm sorry to be the one to tell you, but yes, you are officially a police officer now. And anybody who wears fucking like this color of pants is a cop or a SWAT member. Which, by the way, like, if you're going undercover as a cop, why would you walk around with like police brand clothing? Would that not defeat the whole point of being undercover? You might as well just show up with a fucking badge and a uniform, just be like, "Hello, citizen, I am a criminal." Like, are you left-handed, Swag? No, I hold forks with my right hand as opposed to my left hand, so I don't know. I'm just weird, I guess. I'm neither. But yeah, that was bad. Let's move on to the next one. Oh, thank you for updating the page, Google Chrome. Sweet. What do we got? What is this? I'm making. Oh yeah. Okay, so here's a Newsmax tweet sent to me by I don't even know how to pronounce that. It's the username is A63ACO. So thank you for sending me this. This is Newsmax on the official Newsmax Twitter page, mind you. How bad is the all-time best-selling Grand Theft Auto video game for kids? Carl. Yeah, that looks like a Carl. Debates its effects with a panel of experts on Frontline on Newsmax. Okay. He debates it. Let's see this debate. Let's see Carl debate some experts. Wow.
Far and away the hottest selling video game in history of, I don't know, ever. Grand Theft Auto 5, now 10 years later, has over 185 million games in circulation with more than $8 billion in revenue since it came out. Well, Grand Theft Auto 6 is set to debut a little over a year out, and they're already anticipating a $3.5 billion opening sale.
That is massive. Isn't GTA the most lucrative franchise of all time at this point? Like, I think it even outsold Star Wars at some point.
Now, aside from the fact that I think video games melt your brain and they're stupid.
Wow, okay, yeah. As opposed to the news media, that has no negative effect at all on the psychology of the average citizen.
What does this say about us as a society? That the number
As a society. Fucking leave the bottle alone for 5 fucking seconds, man.
one selling video game is titled after a felony, Grand
So what?
Theft Auto, centers around violence against women, picking up hookers, beating up...
No, it doesn't. Here's the thing, like, if you actually gave video games a fucking fair chance, you would know what you're talking about, which you don't. At no point in the entire franchise of Grand Theft Auto has it been centered on violence against women. That's preposterous. You're talking out of your anus, good sir. Jesus. And the news media has the fucking temerity to be like, why don't people trust us anymore? It's like, maybe it's because you hire people like this. You hire these fucking, like, stuffed suit, empty suit, fucking cigar-smoking cocksuckers who opine on shit they have no business talking about. Like, you don't even know what the fuck this video game is about. You don't know the premise of it. You have no idea what it even, how it appeals to its audience. You have no idea. You're just making shit up. Yeah, exactly. Zavaria just said it. They've been saying the exact same thing since the 90s. They're like, look at all these video games. And by the way, I think they actually get into, like, does this cause youth violence? Which I have a reputation for that. The same one that I've always had, which is, youth violence has been on a steady decline since video games became all the more popular. Now, just to be clear, that does not mean...
that soon.
All right, I'll give it a second.
Welcome back, SWEGTA. Yeah, I get that anyone allowed to have a take, but you can't say a game is bad before release and after reveal. I mean, people already judging Silent Hill 2 remake for the combat change.
Exactly. I mean, I don't... You can't say a game is bad before release and after reveal. Well, that's the thing. I mean, like, if Rockstar put out a trailer for GTA 6 and it looked like total shit, I mean, like, if the animations were, like, people just floating around with, like, T-poses that are not even animated, and the voice acting is like, put the money in the bag, this is a robbery. Like, if it was bad to that extent, yeah, I mean, at that point, in such an extreme, yeah, you could dismiss it. I think that'd be fine. But I do think people should give it a fair chance, at the very least. But I mean, like, that's not this guy's fucking aim, though. Like, his aim is to demonize this game and video games in general. And I guess we're in for a debate. I don't know. I don't know if, like, Newsmax is the best setting for a debate, or like any other mainstream news show or network in general. Because, like, the way, like, news shows are formatted, and I'm sure you've seen this if you've ever seen, like, some talking heads on, like, CNN or something. They bring on, like, people with different points of view, and everybody gets, like, 10 seconds per person to espouse, like, elaborate points, where, like, they have all these sources prepared, but it's like, Jeremy, what do you think? And it's like, oh, well, you know, I disagree. Okay, well, Nathan, what do you think? You know, and then after like a minute of talking, they're like, okay, well, that's all the time we have for that. So it's not a good, it's not an appropriate setting for a debate, I think. But thank you, Ricky, the Mad Dragon Jong, for the $10. Thank you. Hope you're well.
Random bystanders and shooting at cops. The irony is that as a society, we're being neutered already and taught that words are violence, and if you call somebody the wrong pronoun, you can cause PTSD.
Dude, just like... Okay, we're gonna take it there, huh? We're gonna do this anti-woke thing now. All right. Aren't you talking about Grand Theft Auto? Like, I mean, stay on point. It's fucking, it's infuriating how, like, everything comes back to this anti-woke thing. Dude, I shit you not, I saw a video, and you can find this on YouTube yourself if you don't believe me. I saw this video where this woman she went up to this teenage girl, and was basically like, you know, you're dressed immodestly. You know, she like pulled down the skirt on this teen, and then she had the cops called on her, and when the cops showed up and spoke to her about it, the cop like fucking sided with her, and the cop kept going off on like anti-woke fucking rants. He's like, oh yeah, society's too sensitive these days. You can't say anything without offending anyone. It's like, this woman literally fucking touched an underage person inappropriately. Can we just focus on that? Aren't you a fucking cop? Like, I don't know, it just pisses me off. Everything has to either be pro or anti-woke. We can't just have a conversation about the topic at hand. It all has to come full circle in some fucked up, stupid way back to, I'm either pro or anti-woke. It's exhausting. I'm tired of hearing people yammer incessantly about this. Shut the fuck up. Thank you.
There's an entire political party that wants to criminalize hate speech, yet not a word about our kids learning to be violent felons on a video game.
Aren't you in favor of censorship too, then? It's like, look at these people. They want to censor something innocuous. By the way, here's me advocating censoring something innocuous. Like, you're doing the thing you're criticizing other people for doing. And by the way, that's not necessarily hypocrisy. Hypocrisy, by definition, just to like let you people know, it's when you basically don't live up to your own fucking standards. When you espouse, you know, a set of morals and you don't live up to them. That is hypocrisy. Which I guess, you know, technically he is a hypocrite, I guess, in that regard. But I think a better way of putting it would just be like, he's full of shit. He's just full of shit. He's a fucking news anchor who has no idea what he's talking about. And instead of like actually delving into the topic at hand, which by the way, if you're a journalist, you ought to you should do that. Isn't that your fucking job? Isn't it your responsibility as a person reporting on something to know about the thing you're talking about at least?
Board-certified clinical psychologist Dr. Jeffrey Gardner and primary care doctor at Massachusetts General Hospital, Dr. Peter Grinspoon. Look, Dr. Grinspoon, what do you make of
Doctor, please.
this, and what is this doing to our kids?
SWEGTA, you're too woke. Damn.
Well, what do I make of it? The same things that...
What do I make of it? It'd be fucking awesome if he's just kind of like kicking back like, what do I make of it? Who gives a fuck? That would just be the end of it. It's like, oh, well, thank you for your time, Peter.
make it sort of inappropriate for the kids, the sexuality, the violence, sometimes there are even drugs in these games, or what make it so
Sometimes, yeah. Occasionally there's drugs.
popular and so enticing. It's sort of like forbidden fruit. And I worry mostly about the violence and about how kids can get really desensitized to violence. I also worry about these games are so engaging and compelling. I worry about the addictiveness.
So basically he's just saying, like, you know, these games have all this awesome shit in them. Jesus Christ, my hair. These games have all this awesome shit in them, and that's concerning because they're going to become really addictive. So in a way, he's kind of like hyping this game up unintentionally. Like, look at how fucking awesome this is going to be. How can we possibly handle this?
There are other injuries you can get, like thumb injuries, carpal tunnel syndrome, tennis elbow. There are a lot of
I mean, if you're playing video games so often and you're delving so much time into it that you're getting injured from it, you should probably just find a different hobby. At the very least, add some variety to your free time and maybe find something else to occasionally do.
insomnia, obesity. There are a lot of
Whatever happened to just having personal responsibility? Isn't Newsmax like this? At least like the fucking journalist in this video, isn't he like a conservative? Aren't they all about personal responsibility? Whatever happened to that? Like, if you do a certain thing over and over again and it can result in you getting some kind of injury, then yeah, that's on you. You took that fucking risk.
health problems with video games.
People are okay. There's henceforth no fucking preaching in my chat. This whole like Jesus thing, we're not doing that. All right. Number one, I'm an atheist. I don't give a fuck about that. Number two, it's irrelevant to the topic at hand. All right, let's stay on point. Okay. If you believe in God and that brings you joy and all that goodness, good for you. But like, don't fucking spam it in the chat like Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. I don't care. That's not what we're talking about. That's not what we're covering. This is not a fucking, this is not like a Bible study, okay?
But this video game in particular, I agree, is very violent and very sort of sexualized. And, what happens is the older kids play it because there's an age restriction, but then the younger kids sort of tag along.
That's the ticket. That's how you play all the good shit when you're a kid, by the way. You walk in on like, your older brother playing Manhunt or something, and you're like, oh, what's this? And he's like, oh, you're too young for this, but it's pretty awesome. Check it out. And you watch some executions in the game, and you're like, wow. And then you play the game by yourself when nobody's looking, and that's how you find the good shit. It's a little bit like, like back in the 90s and 2000s, like when they put those parental advisory stickers on albums, it actually helped album sales because you're like, oh, this is the real shit.
And watch it and get really exposed to it, and I don't think it's very healthy at all.
Dr. Gardere, Elon Musk responded to an
Of course he did.
Ex-employee's not former, an ex-employee that had played Grand Theft Auto, saying, quote, tried it, didn't like doing the crime. GTA 5 required shooting police officers in the opening scene, just couldn't do it.
Dude. Lame. Has there ever been a lamer take on anything ever than that? It's like, I tried playing GTA 5, but I just could not make it past the opening scene because it involved me shooting cops. Dude, it's a game about bank heists. Bank robbers, at least like in fiction, they shoot cops. It happens. See, this is what I mean. Like, you constantly see people complaining about like how everybody's too sensitive, but at the same time, they're like, I can't make it past the first mission in GTA 5 because I don't want to shoot the fictional cops. Who gives a fuck?
At least some kids are coming around, right?
Let's debate, my dude, who thinks we came from nothing. Jesus is Lord, King of Kings, died for me and you. Cross, 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 cross. Damn, I'm a Christian now. You pwned me. Here's like a funny little anecdote, if you will, a tangent. My landlord has been preaching this Jesus shit to me as well, and I'm not falling for it. All right, guilt tripping people and spamming my chat and fucking writing this like arrogant stuff. That's not gonna convert me or anybody else. If anything, it's gonna repel people from your ideology. You're shooting yourself in the dick, good sir.
Yeah, and what this all comes down to, the good doctor is right. I mean, there are so many concerns about, if all you do, if your diet is all about video games, violent video games, these are things over time that keeps you from interacting with people, perhaps in more appropriate ways. And so,
I mean, if you spend all day playing video games, see, like, I think, like, a lot of this stuff in this debate, this is not a debate. This is basically, like, this, I hesitate to call, I'm using this term loosely, this journalist bringing on two people in hopes that they're just gonna blindly side with him, and when they don't, he's like, well, come on. I mean, it's like, no. If anything, it seems like both of the experts on the panel their main concern appears to be that video games can be addictive, not that they cause violence or instill some kind of moral decay in society or have some kind of deleterious effect on the youth outside of possibly being a bit addictive. And yeah, video games can be addictive. Depends on the person, but yeah, some people are prone to developing addictions, especially when it comes to like the media they consume, like pornography or video games. That's possible. So it's like you brought these two people on in hopes that they would just like side with you immediately, and instead they've gone off in a completely different direction, and they're like, video games can be addictive, but looks kind of cool though. It's like, mission failed.
Oh, if nothing else, there are health issues because you're not going out, you're not playing, you're not being physical in a way that's appropriate with regard to exercise. But, the other thing is, I know a lot of people feel that these video games may cause, violent behaviors. Right now, the studies are really mixed there. We really don't know what it is.
They're mixed. In other words, we have nothing.
What the studies are showing is that it can. But what the study
can't be good. Based on what? Dumbass, he just told you we don't have anything to corroborate this claim. And you're like, well, still. Just because you repeat your opinion, that doesn't mean that it's the correct one.
What studies are saying is that they can cause aggression, and certainly aggression is different from violence. But I think the key thing here, and I think the good doctor might agree with me, is if you have someone who has a severe psychological issue or is in a violent home and all they're getting is more reinforcement for violence, then this certainly can hurt someone, because there are kids who do play it and they don't get in trouble, they don't get violent. So, but
look at how defeated this motherfucker looks. He's like, oh, fuck. Oh, I gotta salvage this somehow. I mean, I've tried the whole, like, come on thing. It doesn't seem to convince them, so, like, what now?
You have to be careful, who is actually...
This is a huge failure of a panel, Jesus Christ. I mean, like, you bring on these two people, assuming they're gonna side with you, and when they don't, you just look defeated. Like, you look like the dictionary definition example of a dejected human being. Jesus Christ.
Absorbing these particular games.
Dr. Grinspoon, I got less than 30 seconds left. If we're in a society that is blaming everything on everything, how could this not be a factor?
What? Let me hear that again. What is your point?
Who is actually absorbing these particular games.
Dr. Grinspoon, I got less than 30 seconds left. If we're in a society that is blaming everything on everything, how could this not be a factor?
We live in a society, don't we, Dr. Ginsburg? What kind of fucking argument is that? We live in a society where we blame everything on everything. What does that even mean? You're insane. What the fuck? That's meaningless. You just said nothing. You're like, I have 30 seconds left, so here's a bunch of gibberish. Dude, just bail. Just admit defeat. At this point, like, I would actually have a modicum of respect for this motherfucker if he just owned up to it and he's like, this has not gone the way that I expected. I'm ending this now.
Well, it is a factor, but, it's just important to educate people and to hopefully get these kids to play in moderation. I don't love Grand Theft Auto for the reasons we've discussed, but it's a difference if you play a video game for an hour and then you go outside and play with your friends, or if you play video games for 8 hours a day. So I think it's very important we keep a limit to the screen time.
Dude. A reasonable person, a reasonable human being who's like, I don't like this thing, but I don't see how it's harmful in the long run as long as you don't, as long as you dedicate, as long as you give it some moderation, like, hey, instead of like constantly playing video games 24/7, go outside, go for a fucking walk on occasion, have fun, enjoy life. Wow. That's incredible. It's like, this is like a sandwich of two reasonable human beings who I disagree with somewhat, and right in the middle is just like a turd of a person who's just like totally misguided and wrong. Not even misguided, I shouldn't say that. This motherfucker is just dishonest.
Yeah, well, there you have it. Doctor.
Oh, there you have it. The end.
Always wanted to do that.
Just like, look at this motherfucker's face. This is the face telling you that your hobby is wrong and it's like unethical and immoral. And then when you press him on it and you're like, well, what is your evidence? And he brings on experts and they say, we don't have any evidence. He's just kind of like, well, flim flam flibbity doo. let me just throw some word salad your way. How do you like that point? It's like you never made a point. None of you really made a point against GTA. None of you made any kind of like solid critique beyond, hey, it's really fun and addictive. All you're doing is convincing me to buy the game on launch. So thank you for that, I guess. Man. Man, oh man. Moving on up. Let's see what else we got. And like I said, if you guys want to throw your own 2 cents in and, give me your opinion on this, a good way to immediately catch my attention is via Super Chat or Streamlabs, link down below, because that way it pops up on the screen and, like, there's a sound effect that plays. So, like, my attention darts to it immediately. Clown moment, indeed. Indeed. How do you guys feel about that? I don't know what to refer to that as. I don't even know what that is. I mean, it's Newsmax, I guess. Now you know. Now you know. It's fucking insane to me how, like, to this day, the news media is just kind of like, why don't people give us any kind of, like, benefit of the doubt even? They all, they think we're dishonest and, totally bad. They think we're bad actors. It's like, well, yeah, you are. Like, you can't just lie to people and be dishonest and then question why nobody believes you. Like, have you ever heard of the fucking, the boy who cried wolf? I know, like, that analogy doesn't fully apply to this, but, like, in both of these instances, you have people who lie and fucking are just generally dishonest actors over and over again. So, yeah, if you're going to be dishonest, you'll lose credibility. I can't believe, like, I have to explain that to a grown fucking man, but apparently I do. Jesus. Holy moly. Holy mackerel, Batman. I'm going to read a couple super chats, and then I think we'll move on to the next point, because we're like halfway through. Let's see. I'm just going to take a swig of this. A swag, if I may.
Cash will help.
It will. Thank you. Let's see. Barty X gave $1. Thank you. And said, who is this lesbian? JK, it's good to have you back, Swaggy. 2024 is the year of content creation. I went from 435 to 562 subscribers the last month, and it's a huge W. Wish you the best, homeboy. Hey, congratulations. That's really cool. I wish you the best too, Barty. Thank you. What's that?
Oh yeah, cash.
Let's
Welcome back, Swag.
Thank you. Thank you. Levi, or, no, this is a Finnish name, so it's, Levi, I think? I don't know, I might be wrong. Maybe I mispronounced it. I apologize if I did, but I think it's Levi. But yeah, thank you. Thank you for the €2. Hopefully everything's well in, Finland. Ricky, the Mad Dragon John, gave $2 by Super Chat and said, news guy trying to be the next Jack Thompson. Dude, I guess I'll give a little...
Oh yeah, cash.
News guy trying to be the next Jack Thompson.
I guess I'll give a little bit of a hint on what my next video is going to be. Jack Thompson is going to be a part of it. He's not going to be the center focus, but he's a significant part of my upcoming new video, which is going to be massive, by the way. Maybe not massive, but it's going to be like on par in length or at least effort with the Manhunt video that I released yesterday. So yeah, or today actually. Yeah, I released it today at midnight or at 1 a.m. Hello, F6 Bullet. How you doing? Somebody just mentioned a comment that I left on a cop body cam video. That's wild. Is that how you found my channel? Did you like click on it out of curiosity because you saw it as like a top comment and you saw that I was live and you referenced it? Because if so, cool. Let's see here. See my vest, see my vest. Oh shit, Jack Thompson in another SWEGTA video? Yes. Yes. The fall and continuous fall of Jack Thompson. Yeah, instead of like the rise and fall of Jack Thompson, it's like the fall and fall of Jack Thompson. Let's hope we get Jack in GTA 6 and Joker. See, the thing with like including a parody of Jack Thompson in GTA is that it would feel kind of outdated because he's such a product of his time. Like Jack Thompson was the villain of video games back in like the mid 2000s. But beyond that point, he's, you know, I guess the Zoomers call it he fell off. So, yeah. But I would not oppose it. I mean, like, if they made fun of him in GTA 6, I'd be fine with it. That'd be cool.
Free money!
Free money.
You better mention Tate's comments on GTA LOL.
I actually did not include those in this. I may include it because, you know, I've had a lot of fun doing this, and if you guys are down, like, we could do this occasionally where, like, I respond to bad takes about Rockstar or you know, GTA or Bully or any of their games. But if I make a sequel to this, which I might, I'll include it, because that was one of the things that people sent me. But I chose not to include it because I'm like, well, you know, it kind of drones on, and, you know, it takes like a minute before I pause it and say something, so I don't know. Moving on, though, here is Anthony Cumia, who, I guess like most of you probably know this, but for those of you who don't know, Anthony Cumia was one of the two radio hosts behind the Opie and Anthony show. Opie and Anthony actually had a pretty good established relationship with Laszlo Jones from Rockstar Games. And, you know, various other comedians like Jim Norton, Louis C.K., you know, like, and who else? Patrice O'Neal. Yeah. I think he was a frequent guest on there. But over time, Anthony Cumia revealed himself to be a massive racist pile of shit. And I think, like, the first time that I took notice of this was when he was like out in public and he uploaded this like picture that he took of a black woman yelling at him, and he's like, oh, you know, she verbally attacks me for no reason, you know, you can't reason with these people. And first off, you know, when I looked at the picture, I'm like, okay, you know, what else? Because like his defense was like, I was taking pictures of New York City and this black woman approached me and accosted me. I'm like, okay, well, what were you taking a picture of? And I looked at it. I'm like, this is a wall. There's nothing there. There's not even anything on. It's just a fucking wall. There's a black woman and a wall. That's it. What the fuck did she get in the way of? Nothing. So I remember like talking to friends of mine about that when, you know, we discussed it. And I was like, I just told him straight up. I'm like, I think he's a racist pile of shit. And they're like, well, you mean, you don't know that. Well, years fucking later, lo and behold, here's somebody who posted. Okay, so this profile right here, I actually looked into this. This is a Twitter profile that like all this person does is post like footage of black people doing bad shit and posts it so that, you know, they can get like, so they can hype up, you know, their neo-Nazi following. That's basically it. Like if you actually look at this profile, all they do is just like, here's a bad thing this black person did. Here's another black person doing a bad thing. Oh, here's another one. That's all they do. And so it should come as no surprise that somebody like that decided to go ahead and make the following tweet. GTA 6 looks like modern-day America. I thought people played video games to escape reality, and then it's just like a bunch of black people from the trailer, I guess. And they're like, oh, look at this shit. Pretty fucking popular post, too. although this is actually Anthony Cumia's retweet of it. But yeah, Anthony Cumia put out this tweet where he said, the big difference with the game is that you can properly deal with these pieces of shit. What do you think he means by that? You know, a lot of people complain that, like, I'm too woke and shit. But really, let's set all that shit aside. Like, any, you know, preconceived notions you may have about me, like, what do you think he means by that? It's like every instance of a black person from the GTA 6 trailer in one fucking frame. And he's like, in a game like GTA 6, you'll be able to properly deal with these pieces of shit. What do you think is meant by that? Do you think that there might be some kind of bigotry or something behind that? Possibly. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. It just pisses me off because, like, and if you still don't believe me, if you still don't believe that this motherfucker is a racist pile of fucking shit, let's proceed. Here's something else you might want to check out. So here is... Oh, and I should probably thank the person who sent me this. GTA Pex9 sent this. So thank you, GTA Pex9. Let's see. Here's Need for Madness Auto, who sent me this. Here's Anthony Cumia retweeting open neo-Nazi Nick Fuentes, describing Anthony Cumia as a racist. So let me clarify that. Let me just break it down. So Anthony Cumia retweets somebody who just took a bunch of pictures of, like, black people from the GTA 6 trailer. And in response, he says, or like in a quote tweet, he says, in this game, you'll be able to properly deal with these pieces of shit. Kind of suspect tweet, huh? Sus. That's what the kids say. This is sus, isn't it? And then in response, Nick Fuentes, which, by the way, you can look into him on your own fucking time if you so wish. Open white supremacist Nick Fuentes describes Anthony Cumia as, like, red-pilled and based on, you know, black people. And in response to that, Anthony Cumia retweets it. Nick comments on GTA 6 posts. Laughing smiley. Like, at what fucking point can we just call a spade and just say that this motherfucker just sucks? Fuck Anthony Cumia. I don't know about Opie. Maybe he's cool. You know? But Anthony Cumia fucking sucks 1,000,000 pounds of horsecock, as far as I'm concerned. So fuck him. This is probably, like, the most fucking disgusting GTA 6 take I've seen so far, honestly. I guess, like, the chat's just gonna say, like, oh, you're triggered by that. It's like, I'm sorry, I don't like racism. I find it to be objectionable. But, you know, let's move on. So here's something sent to me by Stab the Dab Twitter. Here's, like, another Twitter politics profile. And this one is actually not even a troll. This person has, like, 2 million followers, by the way. 2.7, to be correct. Fighting for free America. Free American, blah, 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 blah. Jingoism, etc., etc. GTA 6 is haram Zionist propaganda. Hashtag ban GTA 6. And I guess they've placed the Rockstar North logo over the Star of David on the flag of Israel. I don't have much to say about this outside of, like, what? What are you even implying? Like, it's Zionist propaganda. How? The game has not even been released yet. What are you talking about? What's Zionist propaganda about it? I don't know. Just lay off politics, Twitter, Jackson Hinkle. I keep wanting to say Jason Hinkle because, like, Jackson Hinkle just sounds wrong for some fucking reason. No offense to anybody named Jackson, by the way. Just his name specifically. Yeah, Nick Fuentes, the known booger eater. Yeah, that's the thing that he did too live. He ate a fucking booger. I'm not even lying about that. You can look it up yourself. I don't know why you would want to do that, but you can. Here's the Elon tweet. Just felt like giving a little shout out to a Pixel Addict for sending me this. But again, I mean, like, if you're playing a game which revolves around the idea that, like, you're this criminal who pulls off a bunch of like bank heists, then yeah, shooting at cops is gonna be a part of that. Why is that such a big deal? Why the fuck all of a sudden do we have like news anchors and, you know, some of the richest people on the planet bitching and moaning about the fact that you shoot cops in a fucking video game? Who cares? Like, what possible effect would that have on anything else? Didn't Nick stream gay corn? Yes, he did. Bruh, Israel? I don't know. I'm not going to comment on the whole Israel thing, frankly. I found this tweet just kind of, like, weird. I'm like, what is even being said here? It's haram Zionist propaganda. How? In what way? Can you, like, elucidate that, or are you just going to declare that? GTA 6 is not even out yet. Nothing shown in the GTA 6 trailer indicated anything about Zionism nor Israel. It pure did a caveman finish the last part of this thing? It pure speculation at this point in time. Did you find this helpful? Oh, I can rate it. Cool. Yeah, I don't care enough to do that. Hello, John Wick. Please don't kill me. Hopefully you're well. You know, people getting mad about too many black people in the game and wanting people to not play GTA sounds a lot like cancel culture. Yes! Yes! You hit the nail on the head. Holy shit. Thank you. Yeah, it's like you hear people bitching about that over and over again. They're all like, cancel culture, cancel culture. They want to cancel everything. You can't, you know, they want to ban all this innocuous stuff. Anything benign has to be removed because it might offend somebody. And at the same time, they're all like, ban this massively successful and popular video game because it offends me and I don't like it. You know, at least, like, when I fucking am offended by something, I don't go out of my way to, like, espouse banning it. I'm not in favor of banning fucking, you know, the stuff that I took exception to in GTA 5. I just voiced my opinion. That was it. I'm like, here's my impression of this. There you go. And, you know, by the way, my point of view on that has become more nuanced since. But, you know, at least, like, I have enough fucking consideration for other people's preference to not want to limit them in what they can enjoy. Which is not a high bar. You know, that's not a high standard. I don't deserve pats on the back for that. I just think that more people should be reasonable, I guess. We can't get a break ever. Yeah. Swagging my ta to this out of excitement. Cool. Any updates on Bully 2 content? Maybe I'll do like a summary of all Bully 2 news that has ever happened at some point. I think I did that, you know, a few years ago, but I should probably make an update on that. I used to watch you in the, what is it? I used to watch you back in the Theories era. The Theories era? I don't know what that is. I mean, I know what a theory is, but I don't know what the Theories era is in reference to. I wouldn't even be surprised if they said that not even knowing the game isn't actually out yet. I mean, the thing is, like, if there's something you see in the game, and it's, you know, okay, here's the thing. Like, if you see something in the game that you don't like, and it's something of actual, like, discussion that we can talk about, then sure, we can have a conversation about that. But if it's just like, you know, if you're just like Anthony Cumia or like Nick Fuentes or like any of the other many racist dipshits on Twitter that I saw who like bitched about the fact that like GTA 6 apparently has too many black people for their liking, if it's some stupid bullshit like that, then just like fuck off. But if it's like, hey, you know, here's my interpretation of this social commentary that this game has made, and, you know, let's talk about that. It's like, okay, we can actually have a fruitful conversation about it. But if it's just like fucking racism, then no, go away. Shut the fuck up. What is your opinion on Manhunt 2? I have not finished it yet, so I'm not going to fully opine on it, but I will say the beginning is pretty good. Although, it seems like it falls into the same trap that the first game did, where like there's too much gunplay and too much action instead of stealth and horror and suspense. But I like the overall tone of the game. Did you see the Manhunt Alpha leaks? Yes, I did. Also, cool name, Incense. I did see them, and I intend on doing a Manhunt beta playthrough soon enough, so stay tuned. When it comes to GTA 6, I have no issues with female protagonists. I wanted one for GTA 6 11 years ago and still do. But my main concern is the violence and stuff being torn down due to society. I don't think they're going to limit the violence in Grand Theft Auto 6 because you play as a female lead. I don't think they're going to do that at all. I think the best way to go about it is to just treat this protagonist the same way you would a male protagonist, Like, she can get shot if you're not careful when you're in a shootout. And you can be violent towards all these NPCs in the game if you so desire, just like any other GTA. Like, just have the game be as good, at least, as the previous installments in the series, and I'll be fine. So yeah. Thoughts on Badger Gujar? I love Badger. I used to watch him way more than I do now. I don't watch a whole lot of YouTube these days. But, fucking phenomenal YouTuber, honestly. I just typed a paragraph involving Zionism in GTA, but it didn't show up on your stream for some odd reason. It's been sent on my side. I was talking about how Take-Two funds Zionism. If they do, okay, I mean, I'll be surprised, but I don't know. As for, like, why your comment didn't go through, I mean, I think YouTube's thing, like, it's fucking YouTube. I mean, like, they'll interpret a lot of shit as, like, being, inappropriate or spam or whatever. Like, I've left perfectly reasonable comments where I'm just kind of like, hey, man, like the video, subscribed, keep it up. And YouTube's like, this is spam. So, I don't fucking know. I mean, like, I'd prefer if people could just espouse their opinions in my chat as long as it's not, like, downright being hateful towards, like, marginalized people. But if you have, like, an unpopular opinion on, like, Zionism or something and you put it in the chat, like, it doesn't offend me. Blame YouTube, don't blame me. I don't know what racism is. I grew up with white people, Spanish, Indian, Chinese, Irish, Russians, black folks. So where I'm from, I don't know what racism is. Well, I think a lot of the people you grew up with have at least occasionally experienced it. So if you want to know what it is, you could ask them and be like, hey, what has your experience been like? I think the best thing people can do is Jesus fucking Christ. You know what I've noticed? Like, every fucking time YouTube plays an ad, viewership just, like, fucking tanks. And they're playing ads pretty fucking frequently. I'm gonna see if I can turn that shit off the next time I go live. Right before I went live, YouTube just gave me a notification like, hey, by the way, we've enabled this. Hopefully that's okay. And I'm like, okay. And now they're just spamming the audience with ads. So I'm probably going to turn that off, honestly. Hello, Ishi. I grew up with all race of people. Yeah, so did I. I mean, like, I have people in my family who are Asian. I'm fucking white as fuck. So, my experience varies a little bit from theirs, but at the same time, we lived under the same roof. We went for a while at least to the same school. So, of course, like, growing up with people of different races, I mean, like, it's a good way to get perspective on their experiences. But if you don't get that kind of perspective, then I think, like, that, you should ask them. You should just be like, hey, what was it like, out of curiosity? If they don't want to talk about it, that's fine. But, like, you could learn a lot from listening to what other people have gone through. And I think that was a big part of me maturing a little bit. Because, like, I'm sure some of you remember for a while, I used to make, like, the edgiest fucking comments ever. And, like, I would make, like, I would use slurs for comedic effect and shit. I don't do that now because I've listened to the experiences of other people, and it kind of changed my perspective a little bit and gave me a bit more insight, such that I don't really feel comfortable using that kind of language. It's not to say that I police other people's language now. I don't do that. Like, I have, a neighbor who fucking uses the N-word, and I'm not comfortable with it. I would prefer if he stopped fucking doing it, but I'm not going to be like, hey, if he does it in, like, a hateful way where he's like, these fucking people, then, of course I'll say something, but for him, it's just being ignorant about it, I think. Maybe I should be more stern about it, but I don't know. I'm focusing on my own shit. That's what I'm getting at. The ads are hella annoying. Let's see if I can turn that shit the fuck off. Can I? Let's see here. Let YouTube insert mid-roll ads for you. Recommended. No. Okay, there we go. We should have fewer ads now, at least. Hello, soda guy. I'm alright. Bro, get a haircut? No, my hair is, like, in this awkward phase right now. Where, like, oh, shit. You can tell that I'm fucking sweating, by the way. My hair is in this awkward phase right now. But I'm planning on, like, growing in. I'm gonna grow it to, like, shoulder length, I think. And then, like, get some facial hair. I'm just gonna become Jesus as soon as I can develop a full beard. That's my plan. If I'm not gonna worship Jesus, I'll become Jesus. Stuff like that is why I use ad blocker, yeah. Well, the downside on using ad blocker on YouTube is the fact that it actually, like, throttles your connection, and intentionally they load videos slower. They load pages slower when you use ad block, which is kind of fucking obnoxious. I mean, like, honestly, I think, me personally, I don't care if people use it. I'm not going to advocate for it. To be clear, YouTube, I'm not advocating for it. I'm just saying I'm not losing any fucking sleep. You look great. Thank you. This woke word I'm joking about, I don't really care. I don't know what you mean. Why are you sweating so hard, bro? Because it's... Okay, first off, I'm Swedish, so, like, I'm sensitive to heat enough as it is. Second of all, it's fucking hot outside. If I go outside, there's wind, and I'm still sweating. Third of all, I'm indoors. Fourth of all, there's a light right above me. And if I turn it off, here's what happens. Okay, so, like, I'm fucked either way. Like, either we're gonna do it like this, and I'm not gonna be sweating, or I'll be visible and sweating, okay? It is what it is. We have to live with these kind of consequences. Bro, get a buzz cut. It's like 1,000 degrees. I mean, I've thought about it. I saw, like, a neighbor of mine shaving his head, and I thought about approaching him, being like, hey, man, could I borrow that for a second? But I feel like, here's what happens when I grow out my hair. Every fucking time I attempt it, I give up. And every time I attempt it, I'm like, this is going to be the time that I fucking don't give up. And I guess I'm back to that now. I've convinced myself yet again that I'm not going to get this shit cut. But I probably will. But for, in this moment right now, I want to grow out my hair. That's the plan. That's what I'm aiming to do. At the very least, by the time December rolls around, I'm going to have some glorious fucking locks. The elusive blue SWEGTA, yes. The Blue Swag Group. I haven't had a haircut in 2 years. Cool. Not even like a trim to cut off the split ends. Love the stream so far. Thank you. Thank you, Jency. Long hair maxing. Yes. Yes. Let's do this. Maybe we'll move on to the final. It's the final bullshit. Do-do-do-do. Oh my god. As soon as I glanced at my monitor, I saw like the face of Ian Miles Chong, and I'm like, oh, Jesus. Almost like I regurgitated my lunch. So this was sent to me by Christopher, also known as Comics Nerd X. So thank you for that, Chris. Here's Ian Miles Chong's response to Elon not being able to handle the opening mission from GTA 5 because you have to shoot some cops. Which, by the way, that's like the most, like, I don't know. That's like the most pussy take that I've ever seen on any given topic ever. It's like, I couldn't make it past the first tutorial section of GTA 5 because you have to shoot cops. Who gives a fuck? But Ian Miles Chong said, I'm glad shooting cops in Cyberpunk 2077 is completely optional. Never finished GTA 5 either. Is that so? Well, readers added context to that. Ian Miles Chong has written up to 255 GameRanks articles covering GTA 5, including descriptions of personally killing or evading virtual police in the game's single-player mode. So he just fucking lied. So that he could suck up to Elon Musk. Is there anything more pathetic than that? Like, that immediately comes to mind, at least. And they link the articles, too. They link the fucking articles as well. Wow. Ian Miles Chong is just like a fucking horrid human being that I don't despise him. I'm not gonna go that far, but he's just fucking gross. It's like, dude, lay off the Elon cock for a second. Develop your own opinions. You obviously had them at some point in your fucking pathetic life. Go back to that. Go back to, like, being a person with opinions that are not dictated by whatever Elon says. Ian Miles Chong, Jency, is a social and political commentator on Twitter. Here's a fun fact. He's also responsible for the death of at least one dog. Yeah, he got somebody's dog flashbanged by, I believe, by getting somebody swatted. So that's fucked up and horrible. So yeah, not a big fan of this motherfucker, if I'm being honest. You know, that's just me. I don't like it when people get dogs killed. I don't like it when people suck up to rich cocksuckers like Elon either. But you know, the dog thing especially, you know, kind of sticks in my craw for some reason. What do you think of the GTA 6 trailer, SWEGTA? There's a video on my channel where, like, I summarize all my thoughts. But to summarize it even further, I mean, it's okay. Could have been more interesting. Could have been better. Could have been more eventful. But I mean, it's more of a teaser than anything else. So I'm fine with it. You look extremely young for a 27. Yes. Well, I think partially it's because I shaved. I kept getting comments from people telling me to shave, and I thought about it. And then I was like, well, you know, usually what I do is I shave once a month. The first of every month I'll shave. Because, I don't know, it's just a routine, I guess. My favorite bully side character is Ian, not Gangster, son. I feel like they should have used Ian as, like, a generic pet, at least. Like, you know, one of the townspeople that just walks around. But for some reason, Rockstar left him unused, which is kind of weird. But yeah, I mean, like, the character of Ian's okay. He pretends to be an American for some reason, even though he lives in Malaysia. Yeah, I've heard about that, too. I haven't looked into it, so, like, I don't know the veracity of what you're saying, but yeah, I've heard plenty of people say that. You're not the first person to tell me that. I just unboxed a GTA 10. Damien is the protagonist. Cool. Kind of wish I had the soundboard set up so I could just, like, press it and be like, Damien! What about Stimson? Oh, dude, Stimson. Poor Stimson. I love it when people reference weird little shit like that for my videos. I have a theory that Jason is Tommy Vercetti's son. Similar eyebrows, same head shape, blah, blah, blah. What do you think? Well, the blah, blah, blah point definitely convinced me. Damien? American living in Malaysia sounds like passport, bro. I don't know, like, I don't know enough about Ian Miles Chong's, you know, nationality to comment on that. I know that he got somebody's dog killed, and I know that he's a blatant fucking liar. So, you know, not a big fan. Not a big fan. We need SWEGTA to react to the sequel of The Last Vans by Dr. Mike. See, the thing is, like, Dr. Mike, I think he told me that he's fine with me doing, you know, the videos where, like, I riff on his Machinima series, but, like, other people were like, SWEGTA, you're being too mean, and after a while, like, thought about it, I'm like, maybe I was too mean. Maybe I should have, like, toned it down at least, or, you know, left it alone and not made the video, but I don't know. Hello, Underhaven. What's up? I think Billy the Bully grew up into Walter White. They're both bald. I rest my case. Well, there you go. Not a big fan of the government. Me neither. The government totally sucks, you motherfucker. People also say Lucia has a baby in GTA 6 that she probably made with Jason. Based on what? Like, what evidence do people have? People come up with all kinds of wild fucking theories. I mean, like, we just saw, like, a video where, like, IGN talked about how Jason's pants are a certain color, which apparently is slightly different to what SWAT team members have. Therefore, he's undercover as a cop. What? Like, the vaguest connection between anything people will draw, because, like, I think they're just so eager to play this game that, like, they have to make shit up in the meantime. Plot twist: GTA 7 is about Jimmy Hopkins. It should be. It should be about Jimmy Hopkins and how Bully 2 is more important than GTA 6 and 7, in my opinion. My friends used to say Jimmy Hopkins grew up to be Nico Bellic. Why is like every word in your comment capitalized? My friend used to say Jimmy Hopkins grew up to be Nico Bellic because both are bald and have brown jackets until he played the game. Yeah, it's like Jimmy developed a Serbian accent for no reason. Like, doesn't make any sense. I've also heard people say that Yuri from Bully is Nico's son or whatever. What? Because they both speak like this kind of, you know, they have this Eastern European way of speaking a little bit. Therefore, they are related. No, they're not. Like, would you apply that to, like, anything else? I mean, if you saw, like, a black person and another black person, would you say they're, like, related because they're both black? If so, please fucking stop. Sweet GTA, indeed. These are just less harmful conspiracy theories. Yeah, I mean, like, of course, if people, like, you know, speculate about the lore of the game or, like, the plot twist that we're eventually gonna get, and they think, like, oh, maybe Jason's an undercover cop. Sure, I mean, like, we can talk about that and have a back and forth and discuss it, but if you're gonna, like, put together all of this evidence, then does it not behoove you to make sure that the evidence are actually corroborative of something? So it just seems to me that, like, if you're gonna make the argument in favor of something, you should make an argument. It's like that fucking Newsmax dude that we covered. You know, he opines on a topic, and then he attempts to make an argument, but in actuality, he doesn't say anything. He doesn't make any kind of point. He just speaks out of his ass. And then by the end of it, he's like, oh, we ran out of time. It's like, yeah, because you wasted our fucking time, the few minutes we had to have a fucking so-called debate. But yeah, it just bothers me. But you know, as far as just like discussing what GTA 6 is gonna be and what it's gonna be like, I'm fine with that. That's fine. It annoys me a little bit when people put out these theories and the theories are not backed up by anything at all. I mean, the strongest thing they had in that video was like, you know, in this clip right here, Jason fires a gun with his left hand, and in this other clip, we see like a cop body cam cutscene, and you know, the cop is also left-handed with a gun. That's Jason. It's like, no. Is it not possible that there could exist more than one left-handed person in the entire fucking state of Florida? Thoughts on Has-Been Hotel and Vivzy Pop? I've seen the first episode of Has-Been. One of my exes was a huge fan of it, or probably still is. So I checked it out, and I'm like, it's impressive. I mean, like, you know, the fact that they got all of these really talented independent people together to make this happen was fucking awesome, so I congratulate them. I have heard that following that, like, Has-Been Hotel has actually gotten a contract as a TV show, but as a consequence of that, they've, like, basically fired almost everybody that was involved with, like, the original pilot. That's kind of fucked up, but I don't know. I could be wrong about that. But as far as, like, you know, the first episode that I saw, it was okay. It's not my thing, but, you know, I'm fine with it. Confirmation bias is my favorite drug. Yes. I think we're all addicted to that. I'm addicted. Yeah. I think I'll just keep talking to the chat for 5 more minutes, and then I'll wrap it up and go outside and get some fucking much needed air, because I'm not drenched, you know, I'm not that sweaty, but I am sweaty and ready. Boss man, fuck the world, indeed. Kind of wish Mr. Boss would unblock me on Twitter so I could, like, troll him some more, but alas, he won't. Hey, you know, I've thought about doing this. I'm considering making an apology video to Ned Luke. Because, like, I did call him a boomer. Not, like, in a malintent. I wasn't like, you know, fuck you, Ned Luke, boomer sack of shit. That was not it. You know, I made a video where I kind of, like, jokingly said, like, okay, well, Ned Luke doesn't understand this thing about gaming because he's a bit of a boomer. But in all fairness, we're all boomers. I'm a boomer on a lot of things. So I guess, like, he saw the video and he took offense to that. Or at least, like, he took exception to it to the extent that he blocked me. So yeah, are you doing a mewing streak? Actually, like, I don't do mewing, but I do, like, the whole tongue posture thing a little bit. I have noticed that, like, you know, like, my neck fat is not as prominent when I do that. At the very least, like, my breathing has improved, because now, like, I inhale more through my nose. I noticed before, like, before I, you know, improved my tongue posture, I would breathe through my mouth a lot without noticing. It would just be like, you know. So now I look like I'm not fucking brain dead, at least. Go get some fucking air, people. Yeah. Do more streams and more videos, please. I will. I promise. You have my word. Hell of a Boss is better. I've not seen it, but if you recommend it, I'll check it out. Any new videos coming soon? Depends on what you mean by soon. I'm aiming for one video a week at least. That's my goal. I want to have that kind of schedule where, like, you know, I stream once a week and I do a video once a week. I think that would be okay. The thing is, like, I have a job now. I've had a job for, like, you know, 14, 15 months, so I do have other shit that I gotta do, but on my free time, you know, once or twice a week, I'll make some content. I'm really happy to see you back on YouTube. Thank you. Thank you, Unterhaven. You know what I noticed? I checked fucking Twitter, and the handle for Underhaven is Unterhaven, so that made me smile. One video a week, awesome. Thank you. You know, when I first read that, I thought it was gonna say, like, you know, that's all we get, but no, I am planning on making, like, longer, bigger, thicker, veinier, cummier videos. So you know, expect those in the future. I will be making longer content with more time and effort poured into it, because The thing is, like, when you make quick videos where it's like, oh, here's a news story, let me do a quick video on that. Yeah, you can get your thoughts out there, and sometimes that video can get quite a bit of attention, and that's cool, but eventually nobody's going to watch that video ever again. It's going to be buried on your channel, and it's just going to take up space in the catalog of your videos when people scroll through and look for something to watch. I don't want to spam my channel with those kind of videos. I want to have, like, a vast catalog of, like, you know, these lengthy, really fucking well done and researched videos, or at the very least, like, entertaining videos that people can watch that, you know, offer more than just like, here's what everybody's talking about right now. Here are my thoughts on that. And then, like, I just move on to the next thing. Like, I want to make something that people remember, basically. Something that, like, you know, 5 years from now, if somebody's, like, scrolling on my channel and they find, you know, say the manhunt video I made, I want them to click on that instead of, like, some news story that I covered that's, you know, no longer relevant at that point. I talk exactly like Jensen Ackles. I don't know who that is. Jensen Ackles. If I look this up, am I gonna get fucking banned? Let's see. Jensen Ackles. People say I look like Jesse Pinkman, and I talk like Jensen Ackles, whoever the fuck that is. I guess he's an actor. Let's see. Can I just see, like, an interview? Yeah, here we go. So he talks about some beef with Jessica Alba.
You know, I mean, I look at your
You know.
work, and I know you did Dark Angel, and, you know, by the way, was Jessica Alba cool to work with? I mean,
No, she was horrible.
Wait, hold on.
Are you kidding?
Wait, hold on. I'm gonna skip ahead to, like, when he's talking. When this fucking douchey radio host goes quiet for a second.
I got picked on by the lead, and she
Picked on?
Oh yeah,
Explain.
God, can this guy shut the fuck up and just let me listen to this guy's voice?
a brother and sister could do. She had
I sound nothing like this person. I don't know what you're on about. This is somebody with a deep and calm way of speaking who carefully enunciates everything. I just barrel the fuck through it, you know? Doesn't sound like me at all. I'm going to have to beg to differ on that one. Will you be voicing any more videos for Vadim N anytime soon? Hopefully. I mean, I did kind of regain some of his trust by quickly recording some lines that he needed, like, impromptu. Just like, hey, are you available right now to do this? And I'm like, sure. He's like, all right, cool. You know, come back to me in, like, a day when you have it ready. I'm like, no, here you go. It's done. I just recorded it. So, you know, I think I made a good impression when I did that. So hopefully he'll bring me back. I'm down to do it. I mean, like, I think the audio setup that I have right now, it's far from perfect, but it's significantly better than the fucking Blue Yeti mic that I used back in, was it 2015 when I used to voice his videos? Slim Swaggy. Let's not. Gen C, I appreciate it, but let's not. I have a great voice, but it's way different. Yeah, it is. I like how you preface that, because it's like, it could come off the wrong way, I guess, if you're like, you know, your voice is different. Different how? Oh, but you saved it by prefacing that with, it's great. So, you know, nicely done. LA Noir Easter eggs. Can't wait for GTA. Cunt, wait, cunt. Okay, then. The week I start watching your videos again and getting back into Bully, you also make a comeback, Lamau. Yeah, I saw, like, other people saying the same thing. You know what it comes down to, I think? People just kind of missed me, and I missed being on YouTube, and it coincided. You know, people were just kind of like, hey, whatever happened to that SWEGTA guy? I used to watch his videos. What, has he uploaded anything? And they go to my channel, and it's like, last upload 6 months ago. But now, last upload, less than 24 hours ago. So that feels good. Fat pigeon, indeed. Can I have a shout out? I've been watching your videos for almost 6 years now. Hear, hear. Hear ye, hear ye. All that listen. I'd like to make an announcement. Henceforth, all of you will bow down in fear and respect and love and admiration to Connor Perry. Does that do it? I could have put more effort into that, but I'm tired. I'm sweaty. I have some red lips. That's just like the saturation on this fucking camera, because the white balance is so fucked that if I like lower it, I look blue. So either I have like, you know, oversaturation, or I just look fucking like a Smurf. So why the fuck did I get an ad in the middle of the stream? Because YouTube. You know, you saw me. Both of my hands were on the mic, or at least, you know, I wasn't using my keyboard or my mouse, so I didn't do it. Yes, thank you. All right, cool. Love you, SWEGTA. Love you too, Yagami. Do you think a modern reboot of Bully would ever happen? Yeah. I mean, if it financially made sense for Rockstar Games to do it, then yeah. Been watching since the Pete's Show day. Cool. It's been a minute. I actually have an unfinished episode of Pete's Show that I might drop someday. We'll see. Ads get SWEGTA paid. Yeah, they do. Maybe I should just like stream 24/7. I mean, like, maybe I'll make some money off of that. I'm not gonna do that. Okay, I'm just joking. Would you do Twitch streams? I probably should. Maybe if I have an additional day off occasionally from my job, I'll do like Twitch streaming, but we'll see. SWEGTA, do you have any idea why they removed the alpha fighting style? I don't know which one you're referring to. I would watch 24 hours every day, all day. Well, thank you. Fat Pigeon, back in business. Yes. Alright, well, I've been live for over 2 hours now. I'm tired. My voice is giving in. So, I'm going to wrap this up. But I want to thank you all. I also want to especially thank the people who generously donated. To me, that's fucking awesome. Thank you so much. Means a lot to me. Warms my heart. It makes me feel like... Here's the thing, too. Like, and I'm going to make a video where I elaborate on this more, but there was a part of me before I put out the video where, like, I had the video finished, and, you know, I went to my job, and then, you know, my phone started vibrating because, like, I got notifications from people leaving comments on the video after, you know, because I had it scheduled for 1 a.m., and I work at midnight. So I'm doing my routes, and my phone starts notifying. So I check it, and I see like all these comments, and it was a huge relief because before, you know, just as I uploaded the video and I scheduled it, I thought to myself, like, what if nobody fucking likes me? Like, what if I put this out there and people just fucking hate it? And it was so far removed from that. You know, like, I saw like 3 mean comments out of like all the comments on that video. And even like privately, people have messaged me and congratulated me on the return and all. So I think the fears that I had were unfounded, but at the same time, I think I was just nervous. And I was nervous before I went live as well. But after doing this for a couple hours, I feel confident and I feel comfortable. So we will do this again. But thank you all for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, give this a like. If you're unsubscribed for whatever reason, subscribe, I guess. It'll give you access to the chat. So if you want to tell me to go fuck myself, the way by which you do that is by subscribing. So yeah. Take it easy, folks. Have a good one. Peace.